All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Dash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, GMS, peace, salutation, blessing, Akim, labor's truth. Shalom, hopeful elect. All right, and titled this lesson, uh, suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. Salak, let me see what I titled it. I already forgot. Suddenly shall wrath come. All right. So, Lord willing, this to be an edifying lesson. Just try to go in spirit. Lord willing. So, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach out of the Apocrypha, chapter 5, verse 7. Let's get it. All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tearing to turn to the Lord, Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, and put not off from day to day. Okay? You know, brothers, sisters, whomever the Lord, had led to this truth, you know, y'all, keep the faith, stay in it. Us brothers, that's what we're doing, you know, putting on off day to day, especially, in these times now, because this is the end. All right. We see the signs of the times, and the end all be all is right around the corner. All right. Continue on with this precept. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed. Okay, you got many out here that they ain't trusting in Yahawashi. They lacking faith. They trusting in Esau. They trusting in their their carnal weapons or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, they ain't putting their faith and trust in Yahawashi. And it says, in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. All right. Verse 8, set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. All right. And let's see here. Get this. I'm gonna try to break down that word calamity. All right, it says distress, burden, disaster. Okay. Yeah. So it's peerless times to come, destruction and calamity to those whom are not, trusting the Lord, Yahawashi, putting their trust in Esau, or like I said, their carnal weapons or whatever it may be. All right, let me get. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I'll put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So again, if you ain't trusting Yahawashi, if you lacking faith, then you're going, all the unfaithful are going to die in their unfaithfulness. Okay. Behold, saith the Lord, Yahawah, I'll bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And we seeing this the beginning of sorrows, and what's happening in the beginning of sorrows, sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right, for wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And this earth is full of wickedness, especially over here in America, Babylon the Great. That's why it's going to be destroyed, via the ICBM missiles and return Yahawashi and holy angels in the chariots. Therefore saith the Lord, I'll hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Okay? And just, man, everything that these devils, do over here in Babylon the Great and, throughout this earth is off. They go against what the law of Yahawah, they go against the scriptures, the law of the Bible, and they write their own wicked laws, wicked decrees. Isaiah 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they rob the fatherless. And what will ye do in the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? So again, if you ain't trusting in the Lord, Yahawah and Yahawashi, then whom will you flee for help? All right, and many people are going to run down to Egypt, trusting the oppressor, and we understand where that's going to lead them. So continue on here, Isaiah 10 verse 4. Without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. O Assyrian, modern day Assyrians, which would be, the wicked, Esau, Edom, all right? The rod of my anger and the staff in their hands is my indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him charge. All right, who's the people of the Lord's wrath? The wicked, Esau, Edom. And whom is he going to give charge to? Yahawashi. All right, and then the men of the Lord, the 144,000, after we are, Lord willing, we're that number, the elect going to be preserved in them days, and get that spiritual power. Get this precept real quick. Oh my gosh. This is Ezekiel chapter 11. Shut that door. Damn it. Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 19. And I'll give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you. And I will take the stony heart out of their flesh and will give them a heart of flesh. Okay. And this is This is going to happen, when the elect are beamed up and changed over, into that immortal body. The Lord's gonna put in, a new heart, meaning your lob, your mind, and all the laws are going to be written therein. Verse 20, that they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power. Okay. But as for them whose heart walketh after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I will recompense their way upon their own heads, said the Lord. Power, saith Yahawah, power. Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. All right. Get back to here. Was us. So back to Isaiah chapter 10, verse 6. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, against the people of my wrath. Will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets? Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither doeth his heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few. All right. Let's see here. All right, this is Revelations chapter 19. I'm gonna start verse 6. And I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude. And that great multitude, is going to be the elect. And as the voice of many waters, and as a voice of mighty thunder, saying, Hallelujah, for the Lord power, omnipotent reigneth. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. That's why brothers, always say, all praise, honor, and glory, goes into Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi. Yahawah being the name of the Father, and bahasham in the name of Yahawashi, our deliverer. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife had made herself ready. All right, and the Lamb's Yahawashi, and his wife, being the elect. All right, the bridegroom Yahawashi, and the elect, what they refer to Israel as a woman. All right, and to her was granted that she shall be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. Okay. And he saith unto me, right blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, these are the true sayings of the Most High. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. This is John. When he's having a vision, he fell to the feet of the angel. And the angel say, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that had a testimony of Yahawashi. Worship Yahawah, worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. Okay. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And this is referring to, Yahawashi, when you're coming back on that in that chariot, white meaning pure and horse meaning power. Okay. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, Yahawashi. And in righteousness he would judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. All right, and the many crowns is, because when Yahawashi come back, he's taking the earth. He's taking the crowns, taking all these other kingdoms down. That's what that is symbolic to. He had many crowns on his head. All right. He had a name written that no man knew but himself, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And you go into that, he had a name written that no man knew but himself, and that's you go into that word name, and it's onoma, onoma. And it says, if you look in the base of the word, it says a name, literally or figuratively, or authority. All right, authority. All right, so Yahawashi is authority. That is right underneath Yahawah. Okay, so no one knows that rank. You know what I mean? We can only imagine. Yahawah give all power unto Yahawashi. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of the Most High, the Word of Yahawah. All right. I'm going to continue on here. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of Almighty power, Almighty God Yahawah. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right. I saw an angel standing in the sun. He cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sat on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. All right, and the Lord's preparing a feast, for the fowls of the air. There's gonna be dead bodies lying everywhere. The times we're coming into, people they gonna know what time it is. But at that point in time, hey man, it's gonna be too late for a lot of people. The 2/3, they probably gonna be in their lot. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. All right, so Esau and these other nations, at this time, Babylon, they're gonna be fighting, against Babylon, but everybody's gonna stop and they all gonna, team up and try to fight against, Yahawashi. But hey, it ain't gonna work out for Esau. And a beast was taken, and with him the false prophet. All right, and a beast going into America, the EU, and all these other nations that join hand in hand. And the false prophet, I think that's referring to was that the Roman Catholic Church that wrought miracles before him with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the MOTB. Okay, so these devils that they at this point in time, this is already going to be implemented, and them that worship his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. What's that lake of fire? That's that's going to be over here in Babylon the Great. This whole place is going to be lit up. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse. These in these other countries, whomever received that MOTB, who are bow down to and worship this beast, Yahawashi, he gonna get the remnant of them, slay them with the sword. Were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, chariot, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. So again, hey man, people don't want to feed the birds, they gonna eat. Oh man, Salakia. All right, so I guess that's about it on that chapter. I'll go back to Isaiah. What was chapter 10? I guess that's all on that one too. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 51. All right, so this is a prophecy right here. So I'm just trying to go into all prophecy here. Jeremiah 51 verse 1. Thus said the Lord Yahawah, behold, I will rise up against Babylon. This is referring to Babylon the Great, which is America, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And that destroying wind is talking about nuclear destruction via the intercontinental missiles, the ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. So verse 2, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And again, we steadily approaching, this end time prophecy. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. And that's referring to these other nations in their military, their missile equipment. The archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadon, so like I don't know what word, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans. Chaldeans, referring to Edom, Esau, modern day Assyrians, so-called the white man, the wicked whom rule the earth. And they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel had not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord, Yahawah, Lord of hosts, Yahawah, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, the Lord, the elect, the 1/3, the 144,000 and the 1/3 not going to be forsaken, though we were, going off, through Yahawashi, the elect are going to fall under that grace. Little when we had that number. This is verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Okay? And, render unto her, meaning Babylon the Great, America. All right? And flee out of Babylon, flee out of the midst of Babylon. We're, us brothers, sisters, whomever, in this truth, we're fleeing out of Babylon, fleeing out of the world, spiritually right now. But, right before them ICBMs touch down, Lord, he gonna deliver his elect. We're gonna be saved. Let me see if I can get that precept. Yeah, Job chapter 5. Job chapter 5, verse 19. I'll start at 17. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. Okay? So, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So, he gonna let it go so far, but the elect is not gonna have to go through that final trouble, which in that final trouble, is gonna come destruction to Babylon the Great. This is Job 5:20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, okay, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Like brother's saying, we in this truth, we trust Yahawashi. Lord put the spirit on us to be here. It's a beautiful thing, to have this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, through the power of Yahawashi. So we understand these prophecies to come. We see, how these devils is moving right now, and we pray the Lord keep that spirit on us. Where we ain't gonna be afraid of this destruction to come. All right, because though it tarry, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not tarry. And here's Job 5:22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So, in these times to come, the Lord dealing with you. He gonna put that spirit on you. We ain't gonna fear. We ain't gonna bug out like everybody else. And they're gonna be wild beasts out roaming the streets, and they might a group of people down the road from you, that ain't got the protection of the Lord. Hey, they might go and devour them, and then they walk right by you. You know what I mean? It's verse 24. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin. All right. What's that? Back to Jeremiah chapter 51. All right, so I'm going to get verse 6 again. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for the time of the Lord's vengeance for it is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations had drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right, and you see right now, especially, with everything that's going on, these other nations that they disliking America, more and more every day, and it's gonna come to this. This is Joel, almost chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So, just recently we've seen how, America has pulled out their military out of Afghanistan. All right. And these other weaker nations, they see that, and they see that as weakness. All right. And they looking at America like, America's done, which America is done. This place is through. This kingdom is fallen. All right, and it's going to continue to fall until the destruction and return to Yahawashi. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, and that land right over there, I mean, it's over in the Middle East somewhere, around Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, if I ain't mistaken. For there will I set to judge all the heathen round about. Okay. It's verse 13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. All right. So, it's just another prophecy right there, right before, the total destruction and the return of Yahawashi, total destruction of America and the return of Yahawashi. All right, so back to Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. All right, so, we understand, America, Babylon the Great is going to be suddenly destroyed. All right. So again, you out here, running down to your oppressor, running down to Esau, trusting in his witchcraft, taking that serpent juice. Then, hey man, you gonna be marked for death. All right, because if the Lord ain't put that spirit on you, to trust in Him, and man, not good. Let's see here. I'll hop down to verse 11. Jeremiah 51, verse 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord, Yahawah, bahasham, have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. The Medes being, modern day Russia. For his device is against Babylon, to destroy it. All right, America. Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahawah, bahasham, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. All right. My brothers was going into this one. I think, let me continue on. O thou that dwellest upon many waters. Again, that's another indicator of, Babylon, America. O thou that dwellest upon many waters. Okay. And Revelation talks about many waters as well, referring to, all the different nations that are over here. This is the most diverse country in the earth. Abundant, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I'll fill thee with men as caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and he hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bring forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. All right, that breath referring to life. From the Raquah, the spirit. Let's see what it says. Wind, breath, mind, spirit. Yeah, spirit of the Most High. The Holy Spirit. All right. So at the end of the day, not everybody gonna have that breath, have that spirit dwelling in them. Only the Lord's elect. All right, 1/3. Says they are. I'm gonna get that again. Jeremiah 51:17. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. And that's you got a lot of people. The 2/3, these other heathen nations, the wicked. They're gonna be confounded. Because they lot, but by their knowledge, by these graven images, worshiping whatever it may be, but not worshiping Yahawashi. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. Okay, so when Yahawashi return and visit this earth, man, many gonna perish. Verse 19, the portion of Jacob, referring to the tribes, the 12 tribes, Israel, Yahawah, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is named Yahawah. Yahawah is the name. Okay? Yahawah being the name of the Father, Yahawashi being the name of the Son. Verse 20, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. So, when time be right, when the elect get that spiritual power, hey, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy the kingdoms. So, Lord's elect, the 144,000. Lord, hey, we're gonna, we're gonna be that battle axe and weapons of war. Lord willing, we got a hopeful number. I'll continue on here. Verse 21, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. Okay? So everybody gonna get it, if you ain't part of the elect, the elect, the 144,000, the 1/3, then man, whew. Your best bet's not to be over here in Babylon the Great. That's what it is. Continue on. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers, and I will render unto Babylon, America, and to all inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, said the Lord Yahawashi. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, okay? And that's going into the wicked, all right? Mountain, you can, that referring to government. Said the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks. They set their habitations on high. They were they come out the Caucasus Mountains. Slovakia, I was thinking that cat, Slovakia off subject, but Cat Williams, when he's in prison, I seen that little clip when his woman come up there with the white baby that looked like the guard, and he's like, that baby is not mine. He come from the Caucasus Mountains. Slovakia. And will make thee a burnt mountain. Okay. It should, breakdown says mountain government. That's all it goes on this little deal. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Yahawashi. Okay. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of our man. I'm having a hard time with these of Arorat, Mini, and Ashanaz. Appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. All right. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes and the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon, America, a desolation without inhabitant. Man. So again, that America's going to be totally destroyed, complete desolation without inhabitant. All right. So back to, what I titled the lesson. If you ain't turned to the Lord, Yahawashi, let me get it. Ecclesiastes 5:7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, Yahawashi, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Okay? So right now, a lot of people over here, in Babylon the Great, they feel like they got some kind of sense of security, whether it be, a house, uh, uh, cars, trucks, guns, money, the police, whatever it is. But that is in thy security thou should be destroyed. So it's a false sense of security at the end of the day. Security gonna come from Yahawashi. It's Isaiah chapter 31, verse. I'll start verse 1, read down to 3 or 4. Woe to them that go to Egypt for help, modern day Egypt, being America, woe to them that go to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because there are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. All right. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. All right. They don't look unto Yahawashi, they don't seek Yahawah. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. So, what's a hand join hand with the wicked, you're not going to go unpunished, roughly paraphrasing. Lord, when I get that here in a minute. But the wicked, they gonna get their recompense, and you got your 2/3. Either they're joining hand in hand, or they're just, they're trusting in man, and they ain't trusting Yahawashi. Okay. Verse 3, now the Egyptians are men and not power, it says not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahawashi shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. All right. So I think that was the point there. That if you're trusting in things of this world, whether it be Esau, the wicked, the oppressors, you're trusting in your modern day sword, gun, or whatever, you're trusting in a carnal, something that's carnal, something that's not, it's not spirit. Then man, it's not gonna be good. Okay. The only thing that's gonna save the remnant, save the elect, and the 1/3, 144,000 to 1/3, is trusting Yahawashi, trusting the Lord. Okay. I saw one Akim on a comment board. Let's see it, brother. Yeah, brother. Shadow of thy wings, 12 tribes. Revelation chapter 17, verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Fire precept. The water up. I know I'm kind of just going on here, but hey, it is what it is. I didn't need to start drawing out some lessons, instead of, hey. Let's see. What was I going to get? I was going to get something. Oh, yeah. Isaiah chapter 54. Isaiah chapter 54. I'll start at verse 13. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, Yahawashi, and great shall be the peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near thee. Okay? Behold, this is verse 15. Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. All right. And the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that's going into the ICBMs, okay? The waster to destroy. Let's see a breakdown. It says, I had created. It was the Lord that gave Esau the technology of the ICBMs. The modern day smiths are the scientists who created these weapons, okay? But as for us, the hopeful elect, no weapon is formed against thee, Salak, and no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, Yahawashi, and their righteousness is of me, said the Lord. All right, so Revelation chapter 9. Revelation chapter 9, verse. I'll start at. Let's start at verse 14. Verse 13. And the sixth angel sounded, I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river of Euphrates. All right, and these four angels would say, Revelation 7 verse 3, and then that same chapter verse 4. I'll give Revelation 7:3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And the breakdown says, the destruction will not begin until the Lord, Yahawashi, has sealed the elect of Israel. Okay? So my brothers is always, bringing out lessons, going on highways and byways, because, the Lord's going to seal the elect. This bringing out this word, is like activating a sleeper cell. If if you're one of the Lord's elect, you're gonna hear this word and you're gonna hearken to it, and that's what it is. This is verse 4, Revelation 7, verse 4. And I heard a number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Okay, that's where you get that 144. All right, which were the first. Yahawashi was the first spirit created, and after Yahawashi, the 144,000. All right, so back to Revelation. I'm gonna go ahead and go up on the chapter back to beginning. To verse 3. All right, and this is going into so like I'll start up at verse, because that's talking about, I think it's talking about World War II or World War One. Salakia. Yeah, because it's talking about the locusts, which were I think the elder broke down was the planes, the Japs were flying. Yeah, so it was 7. It was Revelation 7:3 was the one I was wanting, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So back to Revelation chapter 9. I forgot where it was. All right, yeah, 14. Saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels, which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Yeah, and here's a breakdown for it. It says World War III will be focused in the Middle East, the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, and Yahawah Shaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, a day, a month, and a year, for to slay a third part of men. And a breakdown for that says the third part of men, Esau, man was grouped into 3 categories: the son of the power, the Israelites; the son of men, the heathens, excluding Edom; and the sons of the wicked, which is the Edomites. Okay, so it's slay third part of men, talking about slaying Esau. And the number of the army and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard a number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. And by these 3 was the third part of men killed by fire and by smoke, and the brimstone which issued out of their mouths, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. Okay, and this is talking about the ICBMs. The power is in their mouth and their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and they had heads and with them they do hurt. All right, so it's talking about a missile, and inside the top of the missile in their heads is the was it the warheads or whatever they got in there. Each missile has a lot of little warheads or whatever they got inside them. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of their works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. So even after this, you're still gonna have many that ain't gonna repent, until it's going they just ain't gonna repent, man. They're gonna get destroyed. All right, so let's see here. I'll get a few more. I'll probably close out. Second Ezra, back to Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I'll bring them with the mighty hand and stretched out arm. All right, and when it's talking about I'll bring them, that's elect of Israel with a mighty hand. Who's that mighty hand? Yahawashi, and stretched out arm. Now, this is referring to salvation that's coming to the elect. And smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So again, it's talking about modern day America. Babylon the Great, the spiritual Sodom of Egypt, destroy all the land thereof. Future prophecy. America will be destroyed. It says, Egypt shall mourn, the foundation shall be smitten with plagues and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting in hell with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and sword in their hands. And again, you're seeing that to a certain extent right now. Sedition. The next verse. Sedition among men, invading one another, and people aren't. They're gonna come to a point they ain't gonna regard their kings nor princes. All right, and that's just what the times we're in. This is all prophesied. Prophesy. The end times before the end shall come, and all these things is taking place throughout the earth on a rapid level. I'm gonna get the next two verses. Second Ezra 15:16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And again, we see it playing out, man. You can't leave the country unless you have that passport. You know what I mean? And it ain't just like the regular passport. It's that, that serpent's juice passport. And it's going to continually get worse. All right? But these are just end time prophecies that let the elect, hopeful elect, whomever's in this truth, to see it. It's faith building, okay? And we just got to do our part and endure until the end, and trusting Yahawashi. That's not as lucky. Let's try to find something. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7, in red letter, words Yahawashi. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay? So, we in the beginning of sorrows. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. All right. And the brother's always going to this one right here, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. This gospel of the kingdom, it's like, brothers say, Christianity, all these other religions, they've been going out, and the end ain't coming. But this gospel, in true sincerity, whom Yahawah put that spirit on, men of the Lord to bring this out, starting with the elders on down, and via the unicorn, via the internet, is going out in all the world for a witness unto all nations. All right. This is verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. All right. Says, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of the house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Okay. So, there's going to come a time and place, where we might not be able to return, back to our house, and the spirit will jump on our brother, in the heat of everything, happening. We just gonna have to go where the spirit take us, you know what I mean? And endure until the end, trusting Yahawashi. All right. We got brothers got houses, kids, woman, jobs, but it's gonna come to a time where, hey, you're gonna have to move where the spirit move you, and just enduring to the end. All right, so I know it's kind of all over the place, but Lord, when it makes sense. Salakia. But hey, with that, go ahead and wrap it up. We're kind of long here, long less than an hour, 9 minutes. But hey, brothers, keep the faith. Lord will be done in a day. So all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kakadash. Shalom.